Good morning. So, I have an announcement in case you didn't see Facebook or anything like that. But as of Saturday, our family grew a little bit. In fact, it grew by 4 paws. That's right. We have a new fur baby. Her name is Ella. She is a golden retriever, 8 weeks old. She is adorable. She is not here right now. She's actually out in the backyard with the boys while I'm doing this devotional. I think tomorrow I will get her up on the screen and everyone can see her. But like I said, she's adorable. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Over the next week or so, I'm going to do a theme kind of just talking about wonder, passion, things like that. And because I think we need to be rejuvenated a little bit with kind of going through the same routine and, kind of going through the same rut. And we're going to talk about that in a second because it seems like right now that's kind of how life has drifted us towards. But even when we were able to go places and before the quarantine, we would still have our own routines and kind of have our own schedule and we didn't really like change and things like that. And I understand. I'm much like you guys. But you can also tell, like, that's why all the days, and especially right now with quarantine, that's why the days all run together because we're pretty much doing the same thing. And the sad thing is that really can creep in to our relationship with God. If you look around you and if you look around at other Christians, especially those who have history at church, like we know it all, we've seen it all. There are very few surprises. And that's why, like, we listen intently to a new speaker. We read all these books. We listen to all these songs, hoping that something new will spark our interest. It's almost to the sense that our sense of wonder is dead. And some might say, well, that's just the culture now. But the truth is, I think we've kind of been longing for wonder in our relationship with God for a long time. And one story that's very familiar, and there's a reason why I'm sharing this story, kind of prove a point, and also it goes well with what I'm trying to say. John 11. And it's a scripture, it's a story that is so familiar that it almost becomes white noise in our heads. And it's a story of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. And it's home to the one Bible verse besides John 3:16 that we probably know we can memorize because it's the shortest scripture in the Bible. John 11:35, Jesus wept. But Jesus is on his way to Bethany, and Martha gets word that Jesus is coming, and so she went to go see him. Now Mary decided she's going to stay at home. And so Martha says to Jesus when she sees him, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that God will give you whatever you ask." And I think a lot of times in this story, Martha gets like almost the shame on you tone when we read this. Because, how dare she talk to Jesus in such a way? But if you listen to what she said, excuse me, Martha believes. She believes that Jesus can do great things. She knows that he could have healed her brother, but she also knows that he still can. And so Jesus tells her, like, your brother will rise again. And Martha agrees. Martha says, yes, when everyone else rises on resurrection day. Martha knew Jesus could do big things. She just didn't really expect them. She thought that maybe he would work in the same old way he always has in the time that she's known him, these miraculous signs, but nonetheless just predictable. And I'm the same way, and I think we all are. In our relationship with God, we think we know about God, we think we know about Scripture, and we've functioned in this culture of Christianity for so long that we know it all too well. The problem is, and I am the same way, I don't know everything. We don't know everything. But I know that God doesn't always heal when we want Him to. I've had my own family members that I've loved die from cancer, and I know enough that to be a reality. I know God sometimes says no when I desperately want Him to say yes. I know God says wait when I want Him to make things happen. I know these things, and so did Martha. But then Jesus did something that really messed up Martha's knowing, because He moved beyond all of her rationalizations. He surpassed all her efforts of self-protection, of trying to minimize the hurt and the disappointment that life may not turn out the way Martha wanted. And Jesus did something that Martha did not expect. He literally raised her brother from the dead. And Martha started to gain back her wonder, her passion. She saw Jesus do some great things for other people, and He did something amazing for her. And do we want that sense of wonder? Do we want God to blow us away beyond all the boxes that we try to put Him in? Because despite all of our understanding, all of our rhetoric, about avoiding boxing God in our hearts, we lean towards minimizing Him and limiting Him because it keeps our faith nice and safe. We don't get hurt when we get disappointed. But it also keeps it boring. Do we want to read Scripture just to be amazed at the new things we discover every time you read it? Do we want to learn new things about God whom we think we know really well? And wouldn't it be great to put all that knowledge and all that amazement and just pour it into your life, into our everyday routine, whether we are quarantined at home or whether once this is over, we can go out and, in a sense, live our lives. And the result would be more than just Lazarus being raised from the dead. You would see some life that maybe has some dead spots in it, that, dead places as well that would live. That's the kind of relationship Jesus wants with each one of us. The last couple of weeks, the theme has been, you are worth everything that God sacrificed Jesus for. He wants your relationship with Him to be filled with wonder, to be filled with excitement, to be filled with passion, desire. He wants to show you new things about Himself, things that consistently push and pull at the limits that we try to put on Him, that we try to box in God. And hopefully over this next week or so, we can maybe get lost in that wonder and that excitement and see things that maybe we didn't think of before. So tomorrow, just kind of a preview, we're going to talk about Solomon. Yes, in case you know who Solomon is, he is the man who had everything. But we're going to kind of see a point in his life where he kind of gained that wonder back. So I hope that you stick with me tomorrow. I will make sure that I put Ella on the screen so everyone can see her and ooh and all at her, because she is worth that. She's so adorable. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Another reminder, and maybe she'll be a special guest for tomorrow night's youth group Zoom at 7:30. We'll have a lesson, we'll have games, things like that, maybe a special guest. So I hope that you hope that you attend that as well. I'll have the recorded lesson for tomorrow in case you can't make it. So, be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for these daily devotionals. And then, of course, my lesson for Sunday morning will be on YouTube as well. Hope that you've enjoyed our Sunday morning live services that we've, well, not live, our recorded services that we put on YouTube on Sunday mornings. I hope that you've enjoyed those as well. So anyways, I hope that you guys have a great day. I hope that, through this time you are growing in your relationship with God. That you, even if you have doubts, even if you have questions, that you're going to Him, or you're going to me, or you're going to someone that you trust with those, and we can help out in any way we can. But I just want you guys to know I love you. I'm still praying for you. I can't wait to see you guys again. And but right now, this is what we have, and I'll see you tomorrow.